On this channel, we provide useful programming information with practical code examples. This time, we'll talk about JavaScript and cookies. We will carefully explain everything step by step, from the basics of cookies, reading and writing, security, to practical examples. Enabling subtitles will make the code descriptions easier to understand. Cookie refers to small pieces of data stored in the user's browser. They are mainly used for the following purposes: user authentication, maintaining login state, saving user settings, language, theme, etc., tracking, browsing history, etc. In JavaScript, you can read and write cookies using document, cookie. Cookies are created with the following syntax. This code saves a cookie named username equals John Doe in the browser. Cookies can have an expiration date set. If no expiration date is set, it is treated as a session cookie and is deleted when the browser is closed. The expires attribute specifies the cookie's expiration date in UTC format. The path attribute specifies the path where the cookie will be sent. / means the entire site. If you specify same site equals none, the cookie will be sent even with cross-site requests. However, in this case, you must always include the secure attribute. Specifying secure restricts the cookie to HTTPS communication only, enhancing security. By referring to document cookie, you can obtain all cookies available on the current page as a string. By using console.log, you can check the difference between the actual cookie values set in the browser and the values that can be retrieved. You can retrieve all cookies as a string with document cookie. The return value of document cookie is a single string in which all cookies are concatenated in the key equals value format. It is convenient to use a function to parse this string and extract the desired value. This function splits the keys and values using split and returns the value if it matches the specified key. By using decode URI component, you can correctly retrieve encoded characters. If the corresponding key does not exist, it returns null. A cookie can be deleted by setting its expiration date to a date in the past. By assigning an empty value to username and setting the expiration date to the past, it will be deleted. When deleting a cookie, you must also match the path, same site, and secure attributes to those used when it was created. In this example, username is deleted, and other cookies such as theme equals dark remain. You can specify various options to control the behavior of a cookie. The main ones are as follows. Expires. specifies the cookie's expiration date in UTC format. If not specified, the cookie becomes a session cookie and is deleted when the browser is closed. Max age specifies the cookie's expiration date in seconds. This takes precedence over expires. Path specifies the path for which the cookie will be sent. For example, if you specify admin, the cookie will only be sent to pages under that path. Domain specifies the domain for which the cookie is valid. Usually, it is set for the current domain, but you can apply it to all subdomains, such as example.com. Secure. When this attribute is specified, the cookie is sent only via HTTPS. For increased security, always set this attribute for sensitive information. Same site controls whether cookies are sent on cross-site requests. You can specify one of the following three values. Strict. Cookies are sent only for requests from the same site. Lax. Cookies are sent for regular navigation, but with some limitations. None. Cookies can be sent even for cross-site requests. However, the secure attribute is also required. If you specify secure, the cookie will only be sent over HTTPS communication. If you specify same site equals strict, the cookie will not be sent for cross-site requests, making it effective as a CSRF countermeasure. Such secure attributes are essential for important cookies used for authentication or session management. Since cookie values may contain special characters, it is safer to use encode URI component. By using encode URI component, you can safely store spaces, symbols, and so on in a cookie. When reading it out, use decode URI component to return the original strain. In this example, max age equals 604,800 inches is used to set the expiration period to 7 days, 604,800 seconds. This is a method of specifying the expiration date, similar to expires. Max age can be specified in seconds and is often easier to use. The following is an example of saving the user's selected theme in a cookie and automatically applying it on the next visit. The setTheme function saves the selected theme to a cookie and immediately calls applyTheme to update the screen. The applyTheme function switches the background and text colors of the body according to the theme. In this example, since max age equals 604,800 inches is set, the theme setting is preserved for 1 week. Since the user's selection can be retained upon revisiting the page, UX is improved. Be aware of the following points when using cookies. Size limitations. The size of a single cookie is limited to about 4 kilobytes. Limit on the number of cookies that can be saved. Depending on the browser, you can only save about 20 to 50 per domain. Security precautions. The content of cookie S is basically saved in plain text, so it is not suitable for storing confidential information such as passwords. Cookies inaccessible from JavaScript. Cookies with the HTTP only attribute cannot be read from JavaScript for security reasons. Some cookie attributes, such as HTTP only, cannot be set via JavaScript. These must be set on the server side. Manipulating cookie S with JavaScript can enhance user experience and maintain state. However, please keep the following points in mind to handle them safely and appropriately. Store only the minimum necessary information. From a privacy and security perspective, avoid storing personal or sensitive information and record only the necessary data. Properly set security attributes. Set attributes like secure and same site to prevent cross-site attacks such as XSS and CSRF. Encoding and decoding data. Use encode URI component and decode URI component to safely store and read cookie values so that special characters and Japanese can be handled correctly. By learning the correct way to use cookie S, you can build more advanced and secure web applications. The source code for this video can be downloaded from the official website. If you like, please visit the URL in the description to aid your learning. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to the channel and look forward to the next video.